Hi, my name is David Merrill, and I will be taking you through my digital story map. Today, I'll be taking you through my community, focusing on key attributes such as green spaces, transportation, public services, and just social in general. This project is designed to identify the strengths and challenges in my community and to propose some ways of fixing those challenges by using my observations and research that I've done. So we're going to begin with the state of the community as a whole. I do believe the community is doing pretty well, but I do think that there is some room for improvement, especially in the form of transportation. I couldn't find much public transportation, and the places that did have it, they weren't up to the standard that I believe that the community should be in. Most of the bus stops were not covered, and they usually were just benches and stuff. And the public transportation usually wouldn't even stop sometimes for people. It would literally just keep going. And I don't think that's really good. It just enforces more poor infrastructure. I also think that the community has a lot of green spaces that they aren't really using much. They're just kind of there. And I feel like they could be used in some more um, like inclusive areas because those are definitely lacking in some of the areas that we'll explore later. Here's my map of all the locations that I've been. Green represents the first observation. Blue is the second one. Yellow is the third one. And the fourth one is all the way over here in red. And then the fifth one is purple. I may have gotten yellow and red mixed up. I'm not sure. I think this one was actually the third one, and this was the fourth one. For purple, in terms of inclusive, I was having actually a really hard time finding stuff, and that's why it's so spaced out. So in terms of first pop, the observation, um, in this picture, we see that this was the only covered bench that I could find for public transportation out of everywhere that I went, and that's why I took a picture of it. This is one of the schools. I just took a picture just to show that we do support our education and everything. This is construction. It's actually right near another school. And so I was just trying to show in the sense of that we actually do have some problems with kids coming in here and getting hurt and stuff like that because it's so close. So it's also in the neighborhood. This was just a picture that I took at night because it was to show that the stoplights were almost all of them were off in this area. And I'm like, that's pretty dangerous, even though you can't even see this picture. There are a couple that are on, but these ones are definitely out. This was to show that in a space that is green, people don't really take care of it since they just were leaving trash and stuff around. And in green space, we should try to preserve and keep our community clean. This is a local gym. It's just what people use to benefit health. I just took this picture because I just see a lot around advertisements and stuff. I think it's very distracting and it's not very good for the community since it can cause more accidents and stuff like that. This is just to show the our community and how they don't really take care of their stuff. This sign has been out for so as long as I can remember, and they've just never changed it or fixed it. This is just another school to show that we have a high school and how we use some of the areas, but it also shows that this used to be a farmer's market and they transformed it into a school since it wasn't used much, which is kind of sad because I've not seen really any other farmers markets in the area, and this was the only one at the time, so we did lose that. This is just one of the local parks. This is one that I used to go to a lot. It's really nice. This was to show in the community the fact is that these houses almost all had gates and security warnings, and it really was kind of a gap for me to see because it doesn't show that they actually interact with each other because of the all of the stuff. And I kept seeing like beware of dogs and guns and stuff like that. So it just kind of makes a gap in the community that you can't really interact with your neighbors without fear. This was to show some speed bumps with there was no signs or anything, and they were so low that it was really hard to see that the first one I actually hit and I feel like it almost damaged my car because I could not see it, and I went over too fast, and there was no signs or anything. This is just to show some community houses that we have in the apartment buildings. They're 2 to 3 layers. This is a 2 layer. There's another 3 layer in one of the other areas. This was for the community. I found a deaf child sign, which was nice to see. I would have also probably used this in the inclusive area, but I just felt like it was useful here. This was just to show a meeting area and a park to support and show community and social interaction. When I actually came here for the first time, there was a ton of people having events and stuff, and I had to come back later because I didn't want to take pictures while they were there. This is from the next observation for activity. This was a little park that was in another apartment place. And yeah, I feel like it just promotes healthy activities for the kids because instead of being cooped up all inside all day, especially like right after school, they can just come here and play instead. This was a bench. The picture is not really good, but in a green area. It was the only one that I could find in this whole entire area or even near the place that I was at. There was just one green bench. This is another small park in another apartment complex that just again kind of just shows the same thing. This is a large green area, kind of like the one I was talking about where they're not really being used. Like there's nothing here. And so I kind of wish that they would maybe use these areas for other things because there are parts of the community that are kind of lacking. This was a soccer and basketball court area. It was just another way to show like healthy activity and support to get people to go outside. This was really cool. In this shopping center, almost all of the fronts had handicap parking. Sadly, though, I did see a lot of people parking in them that probably shouldn't be because they had no license plates or placards. But it's still nice to have, especially that they have so much, so that if there are people like that, there are still areas for people who really need it to use those areas because it's very helpful for them. This was in front of a shopping place I was at that they actually had a ramp designed for wheelchairs and stuff because they didn't have those. Like they have those ramps sometimes for shopping carts, but these ones don't have the bumps and stuff, so wheelchairs can get up easier. This was at an ATM that I found that they actually had Braille here and on the bottom to give to give blind people a way to use the ATM. But the issue is that when I got there on both of these areas, the Braille was completely removed and like scraped out. And I talked to the bank people inside, and they said that it wasn't them, so it was definitely someone in the community. This is one of the local churches that we have, and they have a ton of these signs showing just basically how they support everyone in the community. It really doesn't matter who you are; they still accept you and allow you in there. And this was the only local art that I could find in the community. I drove around probably for almost an hour, and I could not find anything except for this one piece. And I wish that that could change because it definitely shows more creativity and makes the community a lot more colorful and just in general just makes everything better, I feel. And so we're back to the beginning. I definitely think that there is the improvement. These things need to be improved, especially like green space, improving the accessibility and inclusivity in unused parks. For example, they could use some of those parks and add murals or just more social areas instead of them just having them so barren. Um, Improving infrastructure, I definitely think they need to, especially in this. This is the only covered park bench, especially in Arizona. I feel like almost every single bench for public transport needs to be covered because of how hot it is. And also these are very spread out just in general. So I think they need to add more of them so that the community is just they can get around easier. And then just making more community-led events and stuff like that, just in general, because I don't see them a lot, like at all. And so I think if we had a lot more where just the community as a whole comes together, it would definitely support us more. Thank you.